Yes, family, greetings, greetings, greetings in the name of His and Her Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie the First, Empress Rosera Menin. Yes, family, one perfect balance. Yes, welcome to another episode of Politically Incorrect, where we always get it correct, usually always get it correct. If in error, please inbox, update, and we're going to bring it up live in effects. So, yeah, we up again. A wonderful Wednesday. I trust that everybody is feeling great. Mic check, mic check. Give me some feed forward. Let me know the sound coming through crisp and clear. I just got a call from a very dear friend from Trinidad. And oh man, oh man, oh man, that was necessary. Energy, 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 energy. All right, let me see. Yeah, I'm up and running, but it's loading. So anyhow, family, trust that everybody is great. Oh man, you know what? We ain't even got Islam to you too, bro. We ain't got the time to be playing around. You say you're going to green tonight, so you know we going in the field. We go in the field tonight. You know what I mean? Make sure everything up and Chris. Alex, how I looking there, bro? How I looking, and making sure that I got it. You know, got it, Chris, man. Got it, Chris, man. Let me see. Yeah, it up and running, up and running. Yeah, I going to green tonight, family. So you know we getting in the field tonight. We in the field. We going on a field trip. We going on a field trip without question. And so before I even go into that, let me just drop a tune real quick from our resident. You know, y'all know who he is already, man. You know what I mean? Let me just drop this real quick. Tell a friend and tell a friend, family. Tell a friend and tell a friend. Y'all know who this is, man. I got to tell a few friends. Hold on. No, they can't. Priority number one, vaccination. So trying to trick the people, huh? Priority number two, art emotion. Art emotion, man. Priority number three, isolation. Priority number four, manipulation. Take this time to tell a friend. To tell a friend, Mr. Boss Man. I am talking to you. Hey, Mr. Boss Man. Boss Man, we talking to you, man. From doing what you do. Hey, Mr. Boss Man. Look what is going on. Hey, Mr. Boss Man. Yes, Mr. Boss Man, we talking to you, man. We talking to you. The evidence is clear to see. That's right. Some people are suffering from these vaccines. The FDA and the CDC committing crimes against humanity. Hey, Mr. Boss Man. Hey, Mr. Boss Man. I am talking to you. Hey, Mr. Boss Man. Refrain from doing. Tell a friend to tell a friend, family. Hey, Mr. Boss Man. Please tell me what is going on. Hey, Mr. Boss Man. Leave the people, children alone. Father God, look down on us, look down on us in this crisis time. Father God, look down on us, look down on us. We got to change our mind. Father God, look down on us, look down on us in this crisis time. Father God, look down on us, look down on us. Please change our mind. Yes. All right, all right. We're cooking with gas, family. Mr. Bossman. Mr. Bossman, our own resident art in motion. Maximum respect to the brother. Big tune. I just keep that tune there on pause. I don't have the safety on at all. I don't have the safety on. I be having that on right ready, always ready. Anyhow, family, thanks again for sharing and joining us. I mean, like I said, I go on the green tonight, so you know we going in the field. So if you know you ain't like the bush and you scared of cow-witch and that kind of stuff, stay home, man. It's better you go back home. This is the journey for the mind with the one, the down, the one. Yep. And we gonna go there tonight. You're gonna need a pen and you're gonna need a paper for sure. For sure, for sure, for sure. It's gonna be one of them nights, family. One of those nights. First thing first, I have to copy this link to the studio, right? And I have to send it to this individual here, this young lady who is going to be joining us in a few. All right. There you go. There you go. Yeah, she's going to be joining us in a few. And yes, I have a special guest coming in tonight, family. A special guest. I guess I could say her name now, I suppose. Well, actually, she is a former director of the Government Industrial School. Yes, I have a former director of the Government Industrial School joining us tonight very shortly. So, yeah, all I want to say is that if you have somebody, you know, family who's touched by this situation, who's been affected by this situation, um, tell a friend to tell a friend, man. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Special guest tonight, a former director, to clear some things up. Seeing as how nobody is going to come forward and speak on behalf of the children, we going to do it. I mean, the brother said he did an investigation and he found nothing wrong. He found nothing wrong. I don't know where he was looking, but the information I have and the evidence, you see, the key is the evidence that I have. This is why I'm saying we have ourselves to blame, family. You know, get thee behind me, Satan. This is where we're going tonight. It's about letting go of the fact that a lot of people in Barbados seem to be afraid to speak, seem to be afraid to do what is right. You see, blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of the sinner, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful, but his delight is in the law of the Lord, Haile Selassie the first, and in the law he meditate day and night. We got to get on a different level, family, where the fear is I mean, fear of what? Fear of who? Of what and of who? Our children, man. The children are suffering right in front of us. How can we sit back and do nothing? Haile Selassie first said, all that is necessary for evil to flourish is that good people do nothing. And like I said before, good people can no longer sit back and do nothing. That is emphatically impossible. Them days are done. Can't be done. So I want to share some stuff really quick here tonight. I mean, let me get right into it because we're gonna have one of them nights. Like I said, it's a night where you're gonna need your boots, man. You're gonna need your boots. You're gonna need your boots. So let me go ahead and just jump right into it. I ain't even wasting more time. I have a lot of information here to share. I'm going to squeeze it in as best I can. So you may have to watch this on the replay. And I'm just saying that in the early because let me just go ahead and download this one first. Well, maybe not. Let me just go straight to this one here instead. Yeah, let me go straight to this one. Let me open this up right up the door. I ain't even wasting the time. Like I said, we ain't wasting no time. Let's just open this up right up from the jump. All right, so we ready. Let me roll. Let me go to share screen real quick. I'm gonna put an image up. My brother said no weak heart can make it in, and this Armageddon. Big up to Armageddon while we at it too. By the way, I've been listening to his CD now for days, man. Just loving it, loving the vibes. Brought back a lot of memories, man. And I see you too, Lioness. Daffodil, I see you in the house. Maria, you know, I give thanks, man, to everybody who won, especially the L's and Bays. Give thanks, Miss Critchlow. Yes, I see you, L. I see you. Here we go, family. Here we're going on. This is the deal here right now. Okay, let me just go ahead and share this, man. You're gonna need. I don't know if y'all gonna stomach this tonight, right? You know, don't shoot the messenger, man. Just get the message. Let's get the message. Check this out, family. So, question. When you see this picture, family, and by the way, let me just say this as a disclaimer in the very early out. This is to my Christian brothers and my Christian sisters, especially. Maybe even the Islamic brothers and Islamic sisters as well. And maybe my Jew-ish brothers and Jew-ish sisters as well. But definitely the Hebrews and Israelites, y'all should be good. Y'all should be good on this. Y'all should be good on this. But I do this out of love, family. I want you to keep in mind that everything you know is a result of what you were exposed to. You do not know that which you do not know, and you're not affected by that which you don't know directly, but maybe indirectly. So here we are indirectly. I'm going to paint a picture, and I want you to kind of follow me on this, okay? So tell a friend and tell a friend, because this is where we go by the renewing of our minds. Yeah. So here we go. When you see this image, family, I want you to tell me honestly, and this is where we're going to have to talk interactively. Miss Critchlow, number 2, I see you. I see you. Tell me, what kind of feelings do you get when you see this image? Because I did it in reverse with a group to see the response. And so I'm going to do it the other way this time. So when you see this image, what comes to mind, family? What do you feel? What do you think? Naturally, if you're raised in a Christian society, automatically you think, well, look, hey, it's Jesus. It's a picture of my Lord and Savior, Jesus. Now, unless you've been, not following social media and a lot of the posts by the conscious community, you may not be aware that this image is actually not an image of Jesus the Christ, as the book tells us. It's really not an accurate image at all. As a matter of fact, it's speculated that this is somebody's son or something like that. I don't know how true. But nevertheless, that's not the point I want to make. What I want to focus on is that when you see this, you don't think anything evil. You don't think anything negative. Unless, of course, you're conscious and you see it as a weapon to manipulate the consciousness of people, especially children, because usually you're young when you first get these images. My grandmother had one at the house on the wall right above the dining room table. And let me tell you, wherever I would walk, man, this guy would always be looking at me. So no matter what, you couldn't escape his stare, it was always there. But when you see it, you don't have that feeling, you don't get that unless you're conscious. You'll see this as having a different meaning. I want you to notice some symbolism here. Notice that there's this flame on his chest with a heart with the thorns and the cross in it, which the cross is a symbol of a cube, but that's another conversation. When you fold it, you fold the top down, you fold the two sides up, you fold the longer side up one, and then close it. It's a cube. But the cube fits accurately inside of a pentagon, which the pentagon is the inside shape of what we call the Star of David. Which is funny because it forms a cube. Ironically, Islam worship the Kaaba. The Kaaba is the cube in Mecca that they pay pilgrimage and they walk around. That big tent. Inside of it, there's a cube, actually, a black cube. Yeah, the altar that was built, as I said, by Abraham. But again, that's a Sunday school topic. But what I want to focus on is my next image. Now, my next image, buckle your seatbelt, family. This might jump some people. It might jump some people. But I'm going straight to the BBC webpage for this one. And I'm gonna post this link in the group as well on the chat. I'm gonna post this on the chat. Let me go ahead and rest that there. So this image doesn't really bring to life exactly what I wanted to do, but buckle your seatbelt, family. I gotta share something else. Let me go ahead and get it up here now. Yeah, y'all ready for this? Get a pen, a paper, write this down, screenshot it, whatever you got to do. I'm gonna put the link up in the chat. The link is in the comments. You can check it out right now. Lioness said, I always see that image as works of the devil, which is so interesting. You remember the previous picture, we were taught that this is Jesus, and some folks see it as the works of Satan. Well, guess what? This is the BBC News, and this was up a few weeks ago, well, months ago, and years ago, sorry. It's called Decoding the Symbols on Satan's Statue. Decoding the Symbols on Satan's Statue. Well, first, let me say this. Throughout history, again, in our time, we have been conditioned to see this character called Satan as an individual. When the truth and the fact is, Satan, even in the Bible references, was never an individual, but rather a state of consciousness, a state of being, or things that one would do. Because Satan, by definition, is he that opposes, or someone that puts a stumbling block in your way, someone that, uh, adversary, so to speak, someone who's opposed. So it was never no individual. The word was used to describe an action, which is funny because describing an action shouldn't have a shape. But anyhow, we get to it. So this image is what I want to go. When you see this image now, family, what comes to mind? What feelings do you get? This image is known as the Baphomet. Yes, it's called the Baphomet. And actually, I'll put up the other one I have to put up after I go through this one. But the Baphomet, what feeling do you get when you see this? You see, because as Christians, I was a Christian, and I say was kind of loosely, because the Christ-likeness is in all of us. That Christ-likeness, that divine light is all of us. We are Christ when we reach a certain state of consciousness. That's why Jesus said, by the renewing of your mind. I don't care how many Bibles you have. I don't care how many church hymnals you own, how many songs you sing at the choir, how much tithe and offering you give. If you have not renewed your mind and embraced the teachings of Yeshua Christos, or the Jesus Christos, or Yeshua Mashiach, if I'm saying it right, Phil, the teachings of the Christ, if you have not done so, then you have not renewed your mind, so that your mind is operating from a state of ignorance, because you are only working based on what they told you. No, where am I going with this? Where, Emmanuel, what does God do with anything you talking about? Well, get behind me, Satan, because we're going to touch it. When we talk about these images, I mean, the Bible talks about being healed, and this is your homework as well. The symbol that's located on his chest, which is the rod and the serpent. If you go to the hospital, you're going to see that symbol. If you go to the hospital, you're going to see that symbol. Listen, I'm going to ask y'all to read this article. As a matter of fact, let me just read this first part. Let me just do this first. Decoding the symbols of Satan's statue. A controversial statue unveiled by the Satanic Temple at the secret ceremony in Detroit has attracted protests. But who is the goat-headed figure, and what do the elements on the statue symbolize? The bronze statue is nearly 9 feet tall and depicts a winged hermaphrodite known as Baphomet. Now, notice this. This statue is a hermaphrodite, meaning it has both masculine and feminine qualities, which the gods would be considered androgynous. I think that's the word they use. Known as the Baphomet, flanked by 2 smiling children. It costs 100,000, I guess, US, to make, and hundreds of Satanists turn out to see it unveiled. Long term, the Satanic Temple wants to move this piece 900 miles southwest and erect it opposite the Ten Commandments monument outside of Oklahoma City's Capitol building. Now, check this out. They want to put this next to the Ten Commandments. Now, check this out. The state of Oklahoma had no problem with the Ten Commandments. None. It was there for however long. No problem whatsoever. The Satanists, according to what these people are claiming they are, who are erecting this particular statue, which is funny because this has nothing to do with Satan as we know it technically. They want to put it next to the Ten Commandments. Now, why would they want to put a statue of what they claim is Satan next to the Ten Commandments that God gave? What does this statue or this figure, this Satan Baphomet, have to do with the Ten Commandments? The plan was thrown into doubt when Oklahoma Supreme Court ruled that the use of state property to benefit a religion is banned under the state constitution. Get this out. The fate of both the Satanist statue and the Ten Commandment monument is now unclear. Now, guess what? So now that they want to put a statue of Baphomet next to the commandments, the state is saying, well, wait a minute, the Bible and religion has nothing to do with the state. So we got to move. You can't put it there, and we have to move the Ten Commandments as well. But all along, it was okay. It was not a problem. Everyone was okay with it. But as you bring this statue into it, it's negative, and we are conditioned to see it as negative. But check this out. But you guys go to read the article. I want to post this other picture really quick, really quick. before we jump into our guests. Let me just go ahead and click this one and put this up. This is going to be quite interesting. When you look at this again, what comes to mind? What do you see? Because again, we're conditioned to see this as one thing and one thing only. We're not conditioned to see it anything other than demonic or evil, which is funny because what exactly is this? We don't know. I mean, that whole idea of Satan, if you really do some studies, where did it come from? You know, the word Baphomet, you know, as a matter of fact, there's some scholars who associate Baphomet with Muhammad in terms of origin. And the Knights Templar, the guards of the secrets, was allegedly after being tortured by the church, would have been said that this is who they would have been giving praise to, Lilith, because again, it's masculine and feminine. Now, ironically, we are taught that this is the evil, this is satanic, oh, it's devil worship, blah, blah, blah. It's what we are told. Yet we embrace these other images that are so pure and natural. And we embrace them wholeheartedly. And we fight everything else that we don't know anything about other than what we were told. So I'm saying that to say that juxtapose, we embrace one with no question, and we fight against another one because we don't recognize that this symbol right here is a symbol that the Bible tells you that anybody who looks on this symbol will be healed. The Bible tells you that. I dare you to go look that verse up. It told Moses when the people had the pandemic back then, they had a pandemic. He said, Noah said, he said, look, man, not Noah, sorry. Moses said, man, that people getting sick. God told him to wrap the serpent around the stick. And anybody who looks on this will be healed. Now, this individual has breasts as well. Not to mention the torch of light on its head, the light bearer. We know that Lucifer is the light bearer in the scripture. But so is Jesus, the light bearer. But anyhow, that's another conversation that we can have at Sunday school. But I just said that to say this. In our society right now where we live, we have an issue. We have people that we look to, that we are so comfortable with, that we embrace, so wholeheartedly. We embrace these individuals as if they're demigods. We embrace them as if they're infallible. We embrace them because, after all, most of them claim to be lawyers. And I say that word very loosely, but I highlight the word claim. Because for the most part, all they do is procedure law. They don't know nothing else but the procedure to which they have to apply law. They know nothing about law. And some, I won't say all. Nevertheless, having said that, this is interesting. Okay, this is okay. I see y'all. Okay, interesting. Yeah, who would have thought? Having said that, though, at some point we gotta call a spade, because some of these images that we were given, like the one I showed you earlier, the guy who we were taught was Jesus. We come to find out later on, well, that's not who that is. That's, as a matter of fact, I don't even know who that is. We have been worshiping these false gods for too long. And it's time that we start identifying these false gods and holding these false gods accountable, because at the end of the day, righteousness is what exalts a nation. We cannot sit back and watch these images of God prance around the place and violate everything they tell us we need to obey, and yet they do what they feel like, because after all, we have resigned to seeing them as indeed our lords and our savior. And the truth is, they are not gods. They are not gods, because gods are not going to harm the elderly. Gods are not going to harm the women and the children. God's not going to destabilize an entire nation for the sake of what? Money? Anyhow, family, we have a special guest. Like I said, tell a friend to tell a friend. You know, we have a special guest join us, actually all the way from somewhere else. I won't say where. She could say it if she wants to say. But we have a former director from the Government Industrial School. Yes, right now there's chaos and mayhem going up there. For what I understand, 2 young ladies escaped over the weekend and they're on the run. Although they said a week ago that they foiled an escape attempt, which is funny because I have a different story here. That's not how it was told. As a matter of fact, the young ladies who did the caping that they foil. Apparently, that's not what they saying happened. But anyhow, this is what we're gonna do, family. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna let the sister come on and share her truth and speak and clear some things up for us. Mr. Abram, I hope you're watching, man, because I spoke to you about this on live. I spoke to you in person when I saw you on Country Road and the NHC building downstairs. In case you have forgotten, I told you directly. So I'm not telling you nothing outside or behind your back. Man to man, bro. You need to pay attention, man. Get thee behind me, Satan. We'll be right back, family. Marsha.
Yes. Greetings. How are you?
Join us
Thanks
tonight.
for having me.
I'm excellent. I'm excellent. This is, well, I didn't even want to introduce you. I mean, this is long overdue. We've spoken before about a year ago about this same matter when all hell had seemingly broke loose at the government industrial school, all because some information came out and exposed what was going on. And from my understanding, you were one of the pioneers behind trying to get the word out, to get the help that's needed for the young people. And your words apparently fell on deaf ear. Here we are a year later. You're no longer there. You're watching what's going on, and you're having your own thoughts. Introduce yourself and tell us what you feel about the whole situation.
Thank you. Yes, I was the deputy chair of the government industrial school who was fired for whistleblowing about a young lady who had been placed in a cell naked, supposedly because she was on suicide watch. Outside of that, I'm an advocate. I work with women and girls in Barbados. I've been doing that work for about 21 years now, and I continue to do it. Nice. I am the co-director of Operation Safe Space, which is a charity working in Barbados. We offer advocacy services to women who are affected by various types of violences, intimate partner violence, domestic violence, sexual violence. And we also do education and activist activities around just the plight of women and girls in Barbados. Mm-hmm. And yeah, this is, I mean, it's been a difficult couple of weeks for me, not days, weeks, wow. Because this instance that led to these girls fleeing the abuse at the government industrial school, it didn't happen last week. This is something that has been brewing. And just like when I was there last year, one of the major issues at the school is that these girls can never get a complaint laid and heard. Every single time something happens and they speak in their own voices, they're told to hush. They're told by the staff that, you know, if they speak out, it can make them lose their jobs. They're told that they don't know what they know. They're told that they're too wicked and worthless, so nobody will care what they say anyway. I mean, you know, the school is problematic. And I thought, so let me say, I am very proud of Barbadians generally for having kept, you know, attention to this issue. Mm-hmm. I listen to the comments, I look at the comments under the articles, and I would say generally, by and large, Bajans get it. They understand. And I'm very proud of Barbados for that. What I don't understand, and perhaps, you know, I mean, it is interesting the way you started this show, because maybe what I am missing is the spiritual aspect of what is happening at the government industrial school. Because I do not understand for the life of me how in the face of all of the evidence.
Wow.
One of the things that made me really call VOB today was, you know, when you have a current member of the board who can assert that there is no evidence to support the allegations at the school.
Wow.
If you go as far back as the 1980s to wards who were in Somerville at that time, you hear the evidence and the pattern of abuse that you're still seeing and hearing today.
Yes, I agree.
This is not an issue of evidence. So it has to be wickedness in high places. And I don't understand what is the investment in continuing to torture the children, the way that they're being tortured. I don't get it. I don't understand. But yeah, I mean, I've gotten ahead of myself. You asked me to introduce myself, and I kind of sort of went off at a tangent,
No,
like
that's fine,
this or
man.
that. But
Speak your
yeah.
truth, Marsha. Speak your truth, because I know that you're one of the advocates, definitely, because we spoke, like I said, a year ago, and the passion I heard then and the commitment you had then. And I mean, I was impressed because most of the other people I spoke to, and believe me, I got a lot of phone calls behind the scene from other staff members who kind of disagree in some parts and say, well, I didn't get the whole thing right. So when I said, well, you come on then and you speak your truth, like, well, nah, though, I can't do that. So you took that bold step and you came out. Just based on that alone, I salute you. My question is, aren't there cameras in the facility that be able to show all these things going on? I mean, they got cameras. They don't work.
And I like when intelligent people think intelligently. So one of the biggest disparities one of the biggest differences between the government industrial school at the boys section and the government industrial school at the girls section is cameras. I can stand up in a control room at the boys section of the school and I can see any point of the school.
Wow.
The girls' school does not have one functional camera unit.
Wait. Hold on. I mean, I wasn't the brightest bulb at school, but does it have one functional? That implies that there are cameras, but they don't work.
There are cameras, but they don't work.
Wait, hold on a minute. So you got cameras at the school, but what happened to the battery? Why happened the battery weren't changing? You know, you're like, bulb. I ain't sure. I mean, what is it? What happened?
Well, when I was on the board, we were told that the cameras were obsolete. And they were just, you could physically see them around the plant, but not one worked. That is a red flag for me. Because how is it that at the boys section of the school, you have a fully functional state-of-the-art high-tech camera system, but at the girls' school, you have not a single camera? That says to me that there are things that happen in that school that nobody wants anybody to know about. And so for me, that was one of the red flags right there. So we have this investigation, and I have written to the minister to get a copy of the investigation, because I feel like I am a stakeholder, whether they like it or not. I feel like I'm a stakeholder, and I feel like I should be privy to the investigative report, because at the end of the day, every time that the minister speaks, every time that the members of the current board speak, they impugn my character, and not just my personal character, but my professional character. Okay, so I think that I should be privy to the report, since that is what they're doing, right? Because what I want to know is, how does that ring a red flag to me, that you have this camera system that isn't working at any point of the school, but you do a thorough investigation and you say to the public of Barbados there is no evidence to support abuse, right? But something like the fact that not a single camera in this place works draws your attention. That doesn't make sense. You are insulting the intelligence of the public.
This was going on when you were there, I mean, over a year ago?
This was going on when I was there over a year ago, and the cameras still do not work over a year later. So all of the promises that the minister has
from back then
was that
the promise, the stuff he said he was going to do back, he got rid of all the board, brought in some new people. He was going to do all this stuff back then to fix the place. What has happened?
What has happened is that basically, and I don't know, I guess some of your audience would have listened to Brass Stats today, and they would know clearly what the board is about. The board has been, and I remember the minister saying it the Saturday that he had the press conference where he fired the board of which I was a part. He said he was bringing a new board to reinstitute confidence in the government industrial school. Wow. So we knew what the mandate of the board was when it was instituted. Okay. And you heard them today trying to reinstate that confidence in the government industrial school, but all of the problems that are at the school. And I'm going to challenge it. I am going to put, as long as I have breath in my body, I will not stop talking about the government industrial school, because I cannot believe that in 2022, in a society that boasts about how, you know, advanced we are and this and that, that we have an institution like the government industrial school operating on our island. It is unacceptable, and I will not rest. Everything that I can do, everything that I can continue to do, I will continue to do until that place is closed. Okay, so we know what the board is supposed to do, and I couldn't stomach it when I was there, and I still can't stomach it now. It wasn't right then, and it isn't right now.
Well, I personally, right, have been involved with a few families who had young ladies sent there by the family directly. Not that they were given any trouble or got in trouble with the law, nothing like that. You know, issues at home and what else in community and society. Granted, when they started to tell us the experiences they were having, I mean, it left me livid. I was thinking like, wait, and nothing is being done. I remember being at court one day with another young lady, and she wants to communicate, and I'm watching her trying to speak, but there's a young lady, I guess a handler or whoever is with her, and she's trying to speak, but then she's like I really can't say some stuff because there's consequences if I say. Are the girls under any form of duress, stress, or any form of punishment or backlash for speaking out?
Yes, they're under duress for speaking out. The girls in the school who have the strongest personalities are the ones that fare the worst because their strength is seen as defiance, and there is an intention to break them. And so another one of the things that was not acceptable to me about this school is that you have children as young as 13 who are placed in solitary confinement for periods of time, sometimes in excess of 7 days. And by solitary confinement, I mean they're placed in a jail cell, big sturdy doors, small iron slats. In some cases, there are no bathroom facilities. In some cases, there are metal bathroom facilities. And as long as a girl is, and it happens to the boys too. So let me say, as long as the wards are confined to the cell, they don't come out. And the only time that they get interaction with another human being would be when they're fed their 2 to 3 meals daily. You know, where the cells are located, there's no way that you can have contact with the outside world or the outside world can have contact with you. No, I am a big hardback woman, as Bajans would say. And if anybody put me in solitary confinement, I really don't know that I could make it. And the things that these, first of all, when you go into the government industrial school, going through solitary confinement is a matter of course. So when they bring you into the facility, that is the way that they let you know where you have come and what will happen.
You're in a different place.
I can't wrap my mind around it. I'm sorry. And what really hurts me too, and what I want the listeners on your show to understand the most, is that the children who end up at the government industrial school, we have this belief that the children who end up at the school are the ones that the parents don't want. They're the ones that are giving trouble. One of the other things that was very hurtful to me is that there are some parents who reach out to the probation office, to the court, to the police, trying to get help and assistance for their children. And they believe in the system. You started by talking about symbols and the significance of symbols and that kind of thing, right? People believe, Bajans believe generally that the police are supposed to help. They believe generally that if they have a child that's given a little bit of trouble and they take the child to the magistrate talk to the child will fall in line. They believe if they get to a probation officer, they will receive genuine help.
Yes,
and so some of the parents take their children into this system seeking help. They don't want their children locked up. They don't want their children taken away. And then the children end up getting taken from them, right? And pushed into the system where the families then lose control. All of those things are wrong because it couldn't happen to my child. And the only reason it couldn't happen to my child is because I have a little knowing and understanding, a little money, a little, a contact here and there.
Right.
So really and truly, you're punishing these children for being born poor. You're punishing them for having parents that might not necessarily understand in the way that I understand. How is that just? How is it right? It is. I can't believe that we're having this discussion again
Well,
this year
I'll tell you
at this
something.
time.
I mean, me personally, and I want to shout out my brother I see on here, Blinds for sure from New York. Met this brother in New York in prison, and he's part of the YAP program, and Barbados by extension is the BYAP program. We did a session there before, and it was very successful. I mean, wherever BYAP went, the program is always successful. I mean, always, whether in Barbados, Trinidad, St. Lucia, I mean, wherever, St. Kitts, but they never invited us back. Having gone in prison myself, did 9 years in prison, I spent a total of about 3 years in solitary confinement. You told 7 days, right, Marcia? Let me say this to you, personally speaking. And I'm trying to hold myself together here and try to be as politically incorrect as possible because I know I only green night for a reason. We in the field, man. I would never wish prison for my worst enemy. Prison by itself. I would never, ever, ever, ever want you to experience solitary confinement. What happens in that cell when that iron door is closed? If you ain't built, if you ain't built a kind of way on a solid foundation, it will break you. I've seen what that does to grown men, hardened criminals, murderers. I got friends, I mean, broken men who had multiple bodies, man. Broken. Become like, I don't even know how to say it, man. I've watched men literally tear a concrete and metal cell apart with his hands just to get out. He's bleeding all over just to get out. And you were saying that this is standard procedure for children. They put you
This
in
is standard procedure for children. And
you see, he want you see, but you see, all right, you go ahead, you talk.
I also want the public to understand that this is standard procedure for children, some of whom have committed no crime. Because I thought that we had gotten it enough last year to understand why this place needed to be closed forthwith. But if we have to continue the discussion this year, let's continue the discussion. So at the boys' school, I will say, and like I said, the abuse is across the board. The unacceptable way that the children are treated is across the board. But why the girls' school particularly hurts me is because none of the girls at the government industrial school during my 5-year tenure on the board were there for criminal offenses.
Mm-hmm.
So at the boys' school, you did have children who were in conflict with the law, children who had committed burglary, children who had committed assault, children who, committed murder. There were children who were in conflict with the law. At the girls' school, there are children who are in need of care. Okay? So you begin to act out because you've been abused.
That's right.
You begin to act out because mommy is sick and she's in the hospital and you don't understand what is happening. And, in your 14 or 15-year-old mind, you can't process it. You're afraid. You start to act out a little bit. There are also girls who start to explore their sexuality, which is normal, which is healthy. And so because of these reasons, you end up inside of a juvenile justice system. And then, in order to go into that system, you pass through solitary confinement on your way in.
Broken.
Make it make sense.
Broken.
It can't make sense. It just can't make. You pick up a child for wandering. And there are a number of reasons why children wander, right? And one of them could be because of a 13-year-old or a 14-year-old puppy love. They want to be together. They teeth out some time. And they go and do what 13 and 14-year-old children do. Let's be frank. All of us went through that stage. It's just that some of us were lucky and didn't get caught. Okay? So you now charge that girl child for the offense of wandering. Okay? The police in Barbados will take that child to a doctor who will try to find out if that child is still a virgin.
The police.
And And well, they will take the child to a doctor. The police will not do it, but they will take the child to the doctor. But
One of their doctors.
Pardon?
One of their own resident doctors.
I think in most cases they will use police doctors, right? But a big part of that process is that we are trying to find out if that child is sexually active, if she's still a virgin. In 2022, like, where are we living? In the Middle East? This does not make sense to me. So that is trauma. Because even if you are with a little 13 or 14-year-old child, whatever, you two are exploring whatever, you then have to go through that process of that invasive examination. And, they give them morning after pills to make sure they're not pregnant. They do STI testing. Why? Why are we doing that to our children? That doesn't make sense. Okay. Now, if that 13-year-old girl is found with a 14 or 15-year-old boy, he is seldom charged. And I'm not advocating for him to be charged. I'm just telling you then that girl will be criminalized for that little encounter. The boy never is. But go further. If that child is found with a 28-year-old man, a 25-year-old man, a 23-year-old man, they also are never charged. You're talking about statutory rape and then rape outside of that, because a 13 or 14-year-old child cannot give consent to a man of that age. Okay, so you are criminalizing the girl in all cases, slapping the boys on the wrist, and then the big men get to walk away from the situation too.
And you put her in solitary confinement.
And then you put her in solitary confinement
because she's guilty
of exploring her own vagina.
And needs correct.
It does not make sense. And I heard this talk today about not coming down on the staff and this and that and whatever. Well, listen to me. I sat on the board from 2018 to 2021. And I had enough after that period. And there is nothing that at the point when I made up in my mind, nobody is listening to me. Talk to the Prime Minister, she is not listening. Talk to the two ministers, they are not listening.
Hold on.
Talk to UNICEF.
Hold on. Go back a bit. You said you spoke to the Prime Minister?
I did. I sent numerous emails to the Prime Minister Motley about my discomforts about the government industrial school and what was happening.
I've never
ever
heard her speak about this.
Ever. Well, this is the next thing I was going to tell you. This is the first female Prime Minister of Barbados in whom I'm supposed to be pleased as a woman.
Right.
And what I want to know is, what have the girls of Barbados gotten for their first female Prime Minister? Because I, as a woman in Barbados, don't feel like I got anything. Right? And the children at the government industrial school who need their Auntie Mia the most, they need her. They haven't gotten anything. Okay. So this is by the time I got to that point where I have gone through, the one thing that they can never say is that I didn't use the system. I used it excessively.
So did she respond?
They all knew.
Did she respond to any of your emails?
She did.
She did?
She did. And she promised to set up meetings.
Okay.
And the meetings never happened.
Okay.
So at that point, I made the decision, I am going to come to the public with this. Whatever happens, happens. Okay? So that you have staff that are in this institution for years defending this institution and what happens in it, I have to look sideways. I'm sorry, I have to look sideways because I could not be a part of that staff. There is something wrong with an adult that can see what happens at that school on a daily basis and feel that is normal or right. There just is something wrong.
Nah, I think it's such a shameful thing, and it seems we're doing laundry in public, but the reality is our children is being exposed to things. And someone made a comment about the pap smear device being placed inside the young ladies who happened to be virgins at the time. I'm sure that does something in terms of rearranging that whole situation.
It is traumatic.
It would have to
It
be.
is traumatic because if you really think about it, every time you think of your first sexual encounter as a woman, you will think of all that came after that.
A cold metal
trauma.
device.
It is trauma, and I don't understand. I don't know what the doctors do for the inspection and whatever they do. So I don't want to say yes, they use speculum. No, they don't. I don't know.
Okay.
But I just know that there's something fundamentally wrong with using medical procedures on little girls in that way. And their parents don't have a choice. Well, their parents do have a choice, but a lot of the parents don't know. They believe when the police come and tell them, well, look, this is what has to happen next, that this is what has to happen next.
And they go along with it.
And they go along with the system. They trust the system. Nobody could do that to my child at 14 years old. I don't care what it is that she did. I don't care where she went. I don't care how long she disappeared for. Nobody could do that to my child because it does more harm than good. It does more harm than good. If I can understand if the child is exhibiting symptoms that she needs medical attention, that is different. But it is that plantation behavior. It is the same way that Black female bodies were treated in the Middle Passage and in these Caribbean islands, and we're still doing it in 2022, and we think that is okay. I will just never stop talking about it because it is just too wrong to be right.
Well, let me answer this question then, because this is how I like to focus on things. How do we move this forward, Marcia? How do we get people to really stop, sitting back on their hands, saying, well, it ain't my child? Because usually in Barbados, it's all right until it knocks on your door. Then you'll hear, well, can you come and help? Can you come and this? But maybe it was calling you to come and go. You ain't never, How can we get people to be so consciously aware that this needs to be addressed? Because it's a symptom of a lot of the larger issues we have in Barbados, especially those affecting our young people.
Yeah.
These are our future leaders. Whether it's large demographic or small demographic, the reality is it happens, and it's happening too often, as if they're creating criminals.
Yeah.
How do we move it forward, Marcia?
I mean, I thought last year bringing it to the public attention was the way.
Yes,
I was clear that once I came and I said what had happened and the minister couldn't refute it, the minister said that the investigation that they did turned up nothing.
Right.
In the press conference where the minister fired me for whistleblowing, he admitted that the child was naked in the cell. He admitted that since last year. So even if there is nothing more that was found than the fact that a child was in a cell naked, that is a problem.
Well, what was the conclusion of that investigation?
He said that there was no wrongdoing. That absolutely nothing was
so wait
found.
a minute. Hold on a minute. Push the clutch here, Marcia. Bring it down. We're going up a hill. You telling me that when he brought that report recently, this was not regarding the recent chain of events that I am aware of. This is dealing with that event from last year.
Yeah. He's basically saying.
Marcia, you making sport, Marcia.
No.
You know how many things happened since last year that I am personally aware of?
Yep. He said that there was no wrongdoing at the school. And so
he's supposed to be a lawyer, I don't know if he really know what did he realize what he'd said, or he ain't realize. The boy didn't pull his coat tail or nothing.
So now, going back to the question that you asked, it won't stop until we become the national conscience of our nation. Until each and every one of us take a vested and personal interest in what is happening to those children, and just stand up because it is too wrong to be right. We don't need to know the children. We don't need to know the families. We don't need to know the circumstances that they were there. None of that matters. What matters is that you have an institution in Barbados which has systematically and systemically abused children for years. For years. On the program today, there were a number of people who called in that said, I was there. I witnessed this. I experienced this. This is not a question of whether this happens or not.
It is known.
Okay?
It is
known.
It's public knowledge.
It is known. It is known.
We keep turning the blind eye. I remember the mom and I had a case where we had a similar situation. The young lady had contacted us via app at the time, and she wanted to commit suicide. Actually, this is the other thing that's going on that we're not paying attention to. The children being depressed. When we looked at it and found out what was going on, she was at home. It was her. She was what, 14 at the time. Her father was doing all the wrong thing you could think of, and
Mm-hmm.
it was only when we came out, basically went and rescued her from the situation and got her, back with her mother, and everything was fine. And you start to hear the neighbors, yeah, we didn't know. And this one,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we didn't know. It
Mm-hmm.
got so bad that I was like miles away by a gym. Someone said, I saw you by the police station. What you doing out there? And I told them kind of briefly what I was saying. Oh, you mean the house? Yeah, I know that. I know that. So I'm thinking, wait a minute, hold on. How
Mm-hmm.
can people know you live right next? You see what's going on, you hear what's going on, you arguments, whatever, and you telling me what? That we don't say nothing, we don't do nothing anymore?
And that is one of the reasons why I will not be silenced and cannot, could not, and will not be silenced on these issues, because that is really the biggest problem we have in Barbados. The abusers will abuse. And when they get the opportunity, that's what they will do.
Serious.
The people who are silent, to me, are worse than abusers. Because when you look at the story of many abusers, they themselves are victims of whatever in their
Serious.
own childhoods, whatever.
Serious.
But those of us who are in this society masquerading as professionals,
That's what I'm saying.
professional whatevers, we know, we come into contact with these children, we come into contact with the families, we know that what is happening at GIS is real. We know. When I started to talk to the various members of parliament about this issue, we had a staff member at the government industrial school who used to make the wards call him daddy. That is not
Daddy.
When I went to members of parliament knew about that. And all of us are sitting down pretending that these things are not happening. I don't know how to get it to stop, but I know that it must stop. And what I will say is that some of the allegations that the children have been making, and some of the allegations that have led up to these two girls running, they should not have to go back to that institution.
I agree.
They shouldn't have to go back there.
Totally.
They should not. They're not safe to go back there. They're beaten. They're raped. They are emotionally abused.
Wow.
It is happening. And I know, like I said, that it may be difficult for people to believe because it sounds so impossible in 2022. But we have to ask ourselves, what would make these young girls lie about all of this? What would make them lie? A lot of them, when they come into the system and that kind of thing, they will admit to you what they did.
Right.
They will admit to you why they did it, and you can understand in their own reasoning and whatever, what they did, why they did it, etc., etc. So how does a girl have enough understanding to say, yes, I did this, and yes, I understand that it was wrong? And
Right.
Some of them don't mind spending their time at the government industrial school. They actually come open to being helped.
Right.
What they're not open to is the abuse that they
abuse.
face.
Wow.
That is what they're not open to, and they shouldn't be open to it.
Wow. It is so, like I said, I've never heard our prime servant speak on this matter ever regarding the children of this nation.
Ever.
And I have
not
an issue.
a word.
I have an
ever.
Issue. No,
at
because
any time at all. None. Ever. And I think that is one of the things that the Barbadian public has to pay attention to. But you have a woman who is on CNN talking to journalists in Britain, talking to journalists, nursing this first female prime minister of Barbados politics.
Right.
But there is nothing behind it. There's absolutely nothing. No life of any woman or girl in Barbados is better now than it was pre-2018.
Wow.
And I have a problem with that.
That's serious. I think, as a matter of fact, um, the minister who's in charge of that particular portfolio, who's also happened to be the man in charge of national security, you would think that this would be a matter of national security and be addressed, I mean, without hesitation. As a man, as a father, I can't imagine if I was in that post, it would only take me one inclination to hear something ain't right to make it right. The fact that there are no cameras to record no activity, the fact that there's a book that is logged in, and sometimes information that is logged in about events that happen, they go back and change it,
Mm-hmm.
fold up
Mm-hmm.
pages and staple it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know what's going on.
Tear out the
Tear out
pages.
certain pages and rewrite
Mm-hmm.
stuff out of these books.
Just refuse to rate it to begin with.
Completely
Mm-hmm.
omitting certain information as well. Those actions would clearly indicate that something nefarious is going on. We're not even talking about the food that's being stolen out the back door to the kitchen, the side door. We didn't even talk. I ain't even talking about the stolen toiletries and soaps and laundry detergent. I'm not even talking about the stolen stationaries or whatever else equipment. I'm not even touching the laptops and tablets or whatever. I ain't even touching that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I just dealing with the basic care of the young ladies. The government
Mm-hmm.
industrial school as a government organization needs a thorough, independent investigation. And I'm going to nominate Black Lion Security to spearhead that investigation with our trusted team. As a matter of fact, those young ladies that are allegedly, well, not allegedly, because they're not on the run, because I don't think they're running. I think they're trying to save their own lives. And I wish them all the
Yes.
best. I wish them
Yes.
all as much as
Yes.
the help they can get. And if they are watching, please contact Black Lion Security if you can for any form of assistance you should need. Like, back in the days, we would sing wade in the water, master looking, so I can't really tell you the dog's coming, but I can tell you wade in the water. You see what I say? I can put
Mm-hmm.
the rug on
Mm-hmm.
the fence so you can see the
And
direction.
it's so interesting that you
Oh,
went there because that's exactly where my mind went. We
I
talk
gotta
about
go
them
there,
on the
sis.
run.
I gotta go. They
They're
ain't on the
they're on the
run.
run.
They're not
Like
on
how
the
the
run.
runaway slaves were on the run.
They're trying to
What
save
do
their
you
life, man. From that
like? No,
hellhole they
they're
got
supposed
down
to
there.
stay and take their beating.
That child
This,
abuse facility, that Mr.
yeah.
Abram Winfried or whatever his name. I still can't even remember this cat name. Let me tell you something, man. You see, the problem is, right? These guys, these so-called, because he's supposed to be a lawyer. Never heard. He's supposed to be a lawyer, and that's supposed to have some sort of weight in a society like this. When we know very well, I mean, come on, man. I mean, come on, being realistic. You don't address the issue of the youth in this nation, and you think you have credibility. You done shot yourself in the artery in your leg, bro. You bleeding out. It's only a matter of when this thing blacks. It's only a matter of when this thing backfires and blow up in your face. I hope you're watching. I really hope you're watching, because, like I told you, you and I spoke about this in person. I told you I used to call your name on my platform. So if you do good, well, I give you a jacket. I get jacket. But yeah, bro, you gonna be shirtless tonight, man. We gonna strip you, man, because you want firing. You should resign first thing in the morning. As a matter of fact, you should resign first thing in the morning. First thing tomorrow morning on the desk, or not even the desk, in the public newspaper, The Nation, you should print a letter on your Facebook page with your broad smile and the conch you were trying to blow that you didn't got the lungs to blow a conch shell. Imagine that. You actually put that picture up. I would have never posted that, big man. Somebody had to post that for me. You ain't got the lungs to blow a conch. You don't count, bro. Resign effectively, immediately, and let somebody else who can handle that position take charge. I nominate
No,
I nominate Lamumba Batson.
I think as well that it is one of the other issues I wanted to zero in here on tonight is Barbados is signatory to the Convention on the Rights of the Child, like I said earlier today on the program.
You have a
And
copy of
let
that?
me I can send it to you. It's a
Do
soft
so.
copy document.
so.
You can find it anywhere
Do
on the
so.
net. But there's a framework inside the Convention on the Rights of the Child which deals specifically with children deprived of their liberty. Because when people hear about the Convention of the Rights of the Child, they think, of course, quote unquote,
Right.
normal children. But the convention actually deals with the gamut because we experience puberty and coming into adulthood differently.
Right.
All of us do. And we know that. So this framework about children deprived of their liberty, it sets out a whole set of mechanisms that you're supposed to follow when children are deprived of their liberty. So it's not that we don't know that it will be necessary or that it will happen in some cases, but you can't just move from depriving a child of their liberty to torture. It doesn't work like that, right? One is not synonymous with the other. And one of the things that framework does is that it seeks to leave space for children to reintegrate into society. Because if you commit, some act at 12, you're not the same person at 12 that you are at 14. You're not the same person that you are at 14 at 16. So the convention, the framework seeks to give children enough room to pay their dues to society and then reintegrate. And so one of the things that you're not supposed to do with a minor in conflict with the law is to post pictures or identifying material about that child. Now, as far as my understanding, neither of the two children who are on the run right now are children in conflict with the law. Right. Let's be clear. They're not children in conflict with the law. They're children in need of care.
That's right.
And I'm saying that because if you would not publish the information of a child in conflict with the law, then definitely you want to be more careful with the information of a child in need of care.
Wait. Hold on, Marshall. What are you saying exactly?
So what I'm saying is that the All Points Bulletin that we have put out for these two children as wards of the government industrial school is a fundamental breach of the Convention of the Rights of the Child and of those children's human rights as well. Because what you have done is that you have branded them,
criminalized them,
in the public domain. And we live in a small society. And everybody knows what the government industrial school is and does. Or at least we think we know, right? And so what you are doing is taking the opportunity away from those children to be protected as they are supposed to be protected. Because it is more important for you to make a heavy-handed statement.
We going for him, man.
Fugitives.
We going for him, man.
Present themselves to the nearest police station.
We going for him, man. He might as well resign now. I mean, like right now, because it's the children, the families, not just the lawsuit. We didn't even deal with that part alone. He has to resign. We're going to make an example out of him for the entire Barbados Labour Party. You are not going to be allowed to do first, like I keep saying, but according to your rules, democracy is majority rule. 70% of Barbados does not support your regime. Therefore, we are the majority, we are the government, and we are forming that government, and we're going to start by dismantling this, this band, whatever y'all call yourselves, really and truly. I have no idea. But this fella right here, he gotta go, man. He gotta go. He has to go.
I hope that it is one of the issues that we can line up behind as Barbadians.
No, regardless of if we are Marsha, on the real. I mean, even if I don't even know what you just said from a legal standpoint, if this is law, he's supposed to be a lawyer. You just put them two young ladies, beautiful souls, who I'm sure when you get their testimony, they have been tortured and God knows whatever else they did to them. They were running to save their lives.
That's right. And that's what any of us would do because it's a human instinct.
So
it's a human instinct to try to save your life.
Of course. They're trying to save
and then we turn them into fugitives.
They're criminals now, you see?
It's not cool.
Like a manhunt.
And this is the thing that I don't understand. So you have a child who goes into the system for something that is not criminal.
Right.
And then they run away from that system and they become a criminal at that point. So it's almost like there's nothing that they can do that is right. This system just holds on to you, and as soon as you're in that vice grip, you can't step back from it. You can't step back from it, and it is problematic.
Serious.
And we can't continue to sacrifice our children on the altar of the plantation and the old archaic, backward thinking and reasoning that we're using. Those girls are not criminals.
Nope.
They're not on the run. They're children who are being abused.
I agree. And the reality is, I think people are beginning to really, you know, get tired of all the smoke screen. I mean, all the double standards, all the lies and deceit. Like the concert they had on Monday, I think it was Monday, somewhere in St. Philip or whatever. All this mask mandate and whatnot. And yeah, the video's out. You know what's gonna happen. People see what's happening. People see what's going on. We saw the nature of the concert, so they promote a certain energy, and that's all right if that's what you want. But all that is necessary, and Haile Selassie first, I gotta keep saying it, all that is necessary for evil to flourish in
It's for good
2022
people to
is
do
for good
nothing.
people to do
To do
nothing.
nothing.
We will no longer sit back and acquiesce to this madness as if we have become so docile and passive that we can't call wrong wrong. You kidding, right? I mean, you kidding, right? Because if you feel that this is going to continue indefinitely, because all right, it's been so for years, everybody know, yeah. We were sleeping. We didn't know. That was the old regime. That was the old order. But yeah, welcome the new world order, they say, right? Well, the new order today is that righteousness has to be exalted to support the nation. We no longer want those draconian, those Puritan ideas of beating the devil out the children and stomping out Satan. No, because you are Satan, and we're saying, get thee behind us. We moving forward off that same energy you bring to the table. We're gonna use that same energy to springboard and take this to a new level, a whole different height. Because it's impossible to sit back at this point as a nation and figure out, you know what? It ain't my child, so I ain't gonna worry. It ain't my family, so I can really care less. Plus, I got this little job, or I got this little mortgage, or I got this little bill. None of that matters at this point. None of that matters.
Actually, for me, having a child in the age group of the children at the government industrial school when I was deputy chair, it did the opposite for me. It wasn't, oh well, I ain't my children, so whatever. For me, it was, suppose this was my
Was
child.
it was my wow? I like that. What if it was mine?
The
What would
things
I
that
want?
that they did to those children, nobody could do to my daughter, and she was the same age, and
You would not allow
children are
that at
children.
all. Someone's
They
answering the
do.
question. Where's Faith Marsha Harris in this whole ordeal? I'm not. I would like to get her to come on.
Well, I can't speak to where she is. I can't. I think she's been putting some statements out in the public and that kind of thing. But let me also say that you know this is Barbados's problem. But one of the things that I couldn't understand as well is that UNICEF is well aware of what is happening in the government industrial school.
UNICEF.
Of course,
Wait,
they
wait.
are.
Hold on a
There
minute.
are
Who's the head of
several
the
reports.
ISIS? ISIS, do me a favor. Who's the head of UNICEF? Put that name up in the comments for me real quick, man.
There are several reports that were written about the government industrial
That
school.
were sent to UNICEF.
No, that UNICEF
Right.
commissioned these reports
Okay.
and wrote about the ways in which Barbados was in breach of the CRC and other conventions and responsibilities. And so I'm upset with, of
They
course, the
wrote Barbados is
administration.
in breach.
Yeah, there are reports. Like I can probably send you some stuff. Like this is not. They know
No, send
what
it.
is happening, and
Send
so
it.
my question is, we have a lot to say about Haiti. We have a lot to say about other countries. When do we stand up and say, as UNICEF in Barbados, we're not happy? But they will tell you, oh, we're here at the pleasure of the government. We can't, Barbados is a sovereign nation. We can't talk about these things. Haiti is a sovereign nation too. So it just makes you really reflect on the world that we live in, and
Serious.
the way that, you
Serious.
know,
Serious.
the way that when you give an entity a nice office on the beach in Hastings, it changes things.
I got you covered. I got you covered. That's where the office at. Okay, we have to visit UNICEF to more personally. Personally, yeah. So UNICEF, you can expect a meeting tomorrow. Black Lion Security on the job here. I'm telling y'all, man, you ain't want them cats come see you. You don't want them. They different kind of creatures, man. They come at you when you sleeping. This has gone too far for too long, and I think that, like you said it best, if we the people in Barbados don't do something, they'll continue to do what they've been doing, which is nothing, and claim that there's nothing to see here. Meanwhile, our children are being marginalized, brutalized, victimized, tortured, and I mean, God knows really what else going on in that place. I don't even want to imagine
It's
what
bad.
it has
It's
to end.
bad.
It has to end now.
Agreed.
You know,
Agreed. I'm just hoping, we have to be the eyes and the ears, and we have to constantly let the minister and everybody know that we will not stop talking about government industrial school. We will not stop being outraged until they do something. And I hope the something that they do is to just close the institution.
I agree.
There's, when you're doing management, there comes to a point sometimes where a brand cannot be salvaged. You
Yeah.
just do away. We just took fish out of Oysters Fish Festival just so. Boom. Oysters Fish Festival today, Oysters Festival tomorrow.
Wait,
Somebody deemed
wait,
that the brand
wait,
we needed to rebrand it. So the government industrial school brand
wait. You
is
saying an
done.
Oyster Fish Festival and more Oyster Fish Festival?
No, they took the fish out and
Just
left it as
Oyster
Oyster
Festival now?
Festival.
Oyster Festival?
And that was seen as necessary to breathe life back into the festival and that kind of thing. Well, the government's industrial school, that brand is done. It's done. It needs to be closed,
I agree.
and the staff need to be scattered.
I think the
And we
staff
need
need
something
investigating. I think the
new.
staff need investigating. We can't let you see if we let these things go, just let them go, then everyone feels it's okay to
You
just let
you
go.
know,
Accountability has to be put on the table, man.
I raised the alarm last year. I was fired. I was contacted to participate in the investigation. And I said, sure, when you guys are ready, just let me know. I was never contacted.
Man, no, Marsha, man. No, man. Hold on.
I
They
was
fired
never
you.
contacted,
They fired you. Then asked you to be a part of the investigation. We're gonna give you
which
a
I was
call.
willing to do because it wasn't about me, it was about the children in the institution. So I would have happily participated in the investigation. I
Nah.
have loads of information. I have evidence.
But hold on a minute. You know what? I gonna have some people contact you to do an interview. Don't worry about it. We're gonna get to
I
that.
have evidence. Finding evidence was not an issue for me. I have evidence, but the investigation was completed,
Wow.
and I was never a part of the process. If they needed evidence, I could have provided evidence. Lots of
Okay.
it.
We gonna get the people
Evidence that I collected from former wars, that I collected from parents, that I collected from former staff.
Wow.
I didn't have a difficulty finding evidence about the government industrial school,
Especially this guy called Daddy, right?
especially Daddy.
Especially Daddy.
Especially
Daddy. I have a lot of information about Daddy as well, actually.
Especially
A
Daddy.
lot of information about Daddy. This elusive guy called Daddy. We gonna fix Daddy though. Daddy gonna get a wake up call, man, on a spiritual level, man. Because overstand it, there's the court that they manipulate with they people in robes wearing black, and then there's the court with the beings who are perfect black. You see, they don't wear coats. They see you, but you don't see them. That is what they gotta worry about in these times. You see, once righteous people start to stand up and raise that energy, trust me, judgment comes across swiftly. You ain't gotta do nothing. But because we are laid down and laid back, nothing happens. It's time to recognize the power that we're dealing with and tell these folks, these devils, get thee behind me and allow our light to come forward because it's that time. There ain't nothing they
Agreed.
can do, man. There ain't a thing they could do. Ain't a thing. They ain't got no authority to do nothing, man. We gotta realize that. And another thing too, family, all that, but you want to lose your job. Listen, The wealth of the wicked, the wealth of the wicked is stored up for the righteous here. The wealth of the wicked is stored up for the righteous. You ain't got to worry about what going to happen to you. Just do the right thing and watch how you start to prosper in ways you can't even begin to imagine. Can't even begin to imagine.
Sometimes it's not even, this is the final thing that I will say, because I do have to go. I'm always willing to talk and to help people to understand what the issues are. The final thing that I will say before I go is that, sometimes it's not even about the job. Sometimes it's not even about the money. It's being able to just come home and be peaceful. It's being able to lay down on your pillow and really sleep at night. And all of those are things that I wrestled with, and if I had to do it over again, I would do it over again. And if I lost the pick again, I lose it again. It's okay.
I
At
fully
the end of the
understand
day,
that.
history will absolve me, and sometimes that is
All right,
enough. It is
Rastafari.
enough. Give thanks for the
We
opportunity.
give thanks
It
for you
was
as
it
well.
was good to spend some time with you. We will talk again soon.
It's good to see you again, Marsha. Blessed love.
Cool.
Thanks, eh?
All right.
All right, we had to take a break there for a second. Marsha on the move. Listen, we want to definitely send some kinetic energy towards her and give her the thanks that she deserved for being a part of this tonight. I mean, and just bringing that truth to the table, Mr. Abram. Yeah, Mr. Abram. I ain't even know what to say to you, man. Like I ain't got nothing else to say to you. Resign, bro. Just resign, man. Just resign, bro. Resign, man. When I saw you that day and I explained to you my position, I was very clear. What I say on my platform here while present, I said to you personally. And I remember what you told me. I remember what you told me. You can only do so much based on the resources you have. Sometimes, your hands might be tied. Let me say this to you, bro. You're a Marshall just said, sometimes it ain't about the money, man. Just for the sake of integrity as a man, as a warrior spirit, just do the right thing, bro. I mean, what's the worst they could do to you? What's the worst they could do to you? You gotta think, but what's the worst that you gonna do to yourself consciously, to your family, your children, if you have any? And what if you have any children? Do you have any children? If so, do you have girl children? I bet you wouldn't want your girl children, if you have girl children, to go through or spend a night, let alone 7 days, in the in government industrial school, also in solitary confinement. I bet you won't want that for your own children. Then why you want it for the rest of us, bro? Do the right thing, Abram. Step down and let somebody else step up, because you clearly don't have the kahunas to do it. Straight up, man. You in there. And the darkness you think you working with, trust me, that's light compared to what we talking about, bro. That judgment that coming, bro, those robes, those men in black, that they're not wearing that, bro. They ain't wearing that. They are perfect black, man. And you need to check yourself, man. This going too far. Too far. And I'm gonna tell you something, man. Y'all better hope that Black Lion Security don't get them girls before y'all do. I'm telling y'all that. But we usually do anyhow. That's all they could tell you. Y'all ain't got the skills for this, man. Chant and pray and watch how they just surface out the blue. Out the blue. Y'all people crazy as it. But then again, we want to thank you though, because had you not opened this door, we wouldn't have a way in. Now we have a way in. See, a chain is as strong as the weakest link. And right now, brother man, you the crack. You the crack to the DLP regime. And that one crack, see, water is an interesting thing because, yes, it is the softest thing known to man. So you might look at it and think it's soft. Yeah, it's a joke. But give it time, right? And I guarantee that same water, that same soft substance will open up that little crack to be the widest gap. And then rage and come through and clean up everything, man. I ain't got nothing else to say to you about that. But in other news, family, we want to definitely thank the sister for coming through, for sure. Full respect 100 on the battlefield. We out here. And we ain't worried about them, man. We got work to do, man. We got work to do, man. You know, it's funny because we look at the image of Jesus and we embrace it. You know, the people in the island embrace it. It's oh so warm. It's such a loving image of Christ. And it's all right. And we look at Baphomet, we don't have no knowledge of it other than we were told, oh, that's Satan. Although Satan is not an individual or a character, it's an act one does to another, which is funny because y'all were never told that, most of y'all. It's not an individual. It was never a person. It's not a person or being. Satan was not a being. It's an action. A devil is not a being. It's an action that beings do. Like what Abram is doing now. He's clearly becoming a devil. But not becoming because, I mean, this has been going on for a while. He's definitely graduated by now. Yeah, and I said it, man. Facts. The thing is, though, what are we going to do about it? That's the question. Because it isn't so much what they're doing that's the problem here. The crime is not on them. The crime is on us. We're the ones committed the crime by sitting back and doing nothing. So we're guilty or as guilty for doing nothing as they are for doing what they're doing. So the question is, what are we going to do? Now that we found love, what are we going to do? Seriously though, man, family, I ain't even playing with this one here, man. This is gone too long, man. As a matter of fact, let me go to the online etymology dictionary real quick. I want to give you all this link here as well to look up. You know, you always give you all the links. We politically incorrect. We get it correct, man. Let me just drop this link in the comment real quick here. Let me go and just share this real quick with y'all. Let me just put this up real quick before we go. I want y'all to write this down as well. And go read this. Go do some research on this. This is not about, like I said, attacking any religion or nothing like that. Because, you know, they would probably call me a heathen. You supporting satanic stuff. You're a heathen. Which is funny because, matter of fact, let me look that one up too. Look this up, family. Go look this word up, Satan. And see what it is. What it's all about. I like the part where it talks about, where is it? One who opposes, obstructs an act of an adversary, you know. In Greek, it is diablos. Remember that Lamborghini called the Diablo? Yeah, diablos in Greek, which means literally, one who throws something across the path of another. That's crazy. I mean, like I said, we hear these words, devils and stuff, and we never really thought to, you know, define what they really mean. We were given images. A guy with a fork, a pitchfork, and a long pointy tail with horns, and he's red. We saw this in the cartoons as children. We were being manipulated from childhood. Pictures in the church, on the slides, on the projector, and the pictures in the pictorial Bible. They were giving us these images. They were telling us who to embrace and what to reject. And here we are in our society right now with the same mindset: who to embrace and who to reject. And we embrace these politicians. We embrace them. And we reject who we supposed to embrace, which is funny, which is truth to the situation. Nah, man. No family, no family, no family. No family. Go look that up, family. Just go look that up. I'm gonna get one more real quick. Hang on. Get one more. I just pull this up real quick. This is interesting because I know that, you know, we use these words loosely, without even having any degree of understanding or overstanding. You know what I mean? Definition of heathen, old-fashioned, often disparaging, of or relating to people or nations that do not practice, gets it, that do not practice Christianity, Judaism, or Islam. So wait a minute. So all a heathen really is the person who is not a Christian, not practicing Judaism, or who's not Islam. I mean, so that those three are the only three recognized. So anything that's not those three is a heathen. What if you just don't do religion? What if you're just spiritual? But if you're a conscious person, you're a heathen. If you're a spiritual person, you a heathen. If you do yoga and meditation, you're a heathen. If you are a Buddhist, you are a heathen. If you study Hinduism and pray Krishna, you are heathen. If you are Sikh with Guru Nanak, you a heathen. So that word we use again, you see, we paint these images, oh, is negative. Oh my God, I don't want nothing to do with it. When it really has nothing to do with that at all. We have been conditioned and been misled, and we embrace these individuals like devils, man. That they all good because they're a politician. He's a lawyer. You know, he's a minister, so he's all right. Nah, this nigga ain't all right. Yeah, and I said it. Yeah, it's far from all right, man. And you go on to the point, you know, you look, man. The last young lady that ran away, that was on the run for about 6 months, Black Lion Security found her without question. Got a lawyer for the family, took it, went to court with the situation, got it resolved. She's back at home with her family, doing great, doing way better than she was when she was there. The things that she shared and explained, oh man, if y'all only knew, because she's a minor, we couldn't put those files out to the public. But if you all really only knew, I'm telling you, Marsha just came and explained, she got the evidence. Don't worry, we can get to the bottom of it, man. We gonna get to it. If you're a Rasta, you're a heathen. It's a fact. Because you don't practice the traditional norm. Family, we gotta stop with this madness, man. It's time that we reach a point where we understand the nature of the country we're dealing with. And we could say the world is like that. Yeah, we could do that, but we ain't going so broad right now. We're gonna keep it close. We're gonna keep it close to home. We're gonna keep it close to home. Simple as that, man. But Baphomet. Lord of the perfect black. Y'all have no idea. Divine order here. Divine order. You think God looked like that first picture I posted? You in serious trouble here. I dare declare that is a picture of the devil. That is a picture of the devil. Trust when I tell you. Anybody who's willing to deceive you is willing to enslave you. Keep that in mind here. Anyhow, family. Anyhow. Uh-oh, ISIS, don't even start that. Crazy. I wear my heathen badge with honor. Jackie, I love it. Yes, Isis and Osiris. Osiris is a manifestation of the Baphomet. It's really the same thing, you know. Same thing, just manifested different cultures differently. But anyhow, that's a Sunday school program. But Maurice, is good to see you, my brother. I mean, blinds on the rail, yeah. Give thanks, man. Give thanks to your pre-essence, man. Remember, I see you. Jackie, definitely got a shout out. Marilyn, I see you too. Regina, yeah. Give thanks, family. Y'all don't know how it goes, man. We be hammering it home, but we can't let this one ride out, family. This can't ride. We got to tell a friend to tell a friend. This got to happen one or another. We got to get this thing resolved once and for all. I mean, once and for all, family. We can't play this game anymore. It's been going on too long. Did y'all see the concert, though? Did y'all see the concert this weekend? I don't know, man. Did you all get a glimpse of the concert? There's some more information I want to drop Friday night, family. Don't miss Friday night. I'm telling you early right now. I got a lot of stuff on it. And I mean, we might as well touch on it because all this is relative. St. Vincent right now is having issues producing, well, food. I going to say it because I bring in food for St. Vincent. I can tell you the food getting scarce is scarce, family. I don't know who telling y'all what. It's slowing down. Food is slowing down and coming into Barbados here. It's simple. Simple. I tell you right now. I tell you right now. So organize yourself, family. Organize yourself. Organize yourself. Those who know what's going on in that department, agriculture, with the Fade Project, y'all know what time it is. And yeah, I ain't even saying nothing else. Ain't nothing else to be said. It's exciting times, family. But we got to address these issues. And we're going to address these issues coming to a constituency near you soon. Phil, Barbados Sovereignty Party, up and running. Up and running. And yo, family, let me just drop a little message before I go here real quick in the form of song. Give thanks for your presence, man, like I said. And oh man, what tune do I drop at this point, man? I mean, got this Dennis Brown right here, but I don't know, boy. They be trying to tie my hands nowadays, man. They be trying to tie my hands nowadays, man. But I got a few pieces I know I could definitely drop without any question, man. Without any question or any interruption, man. And I gonna drop the living lights out of them, man. Because you know what? Why not, man? And why not? And why not, man? Matter of fact, I had this the other night to drop my brother, and I had to switch up because he wanted me to do something a little different. So I ended up doing something a little different. But let me see if I can pull this off tonight. Hold on, let me look for it, man. Let me look for it, man. I think there's it here. Yeah, there's it, man. I got you covered. Coming now. CH. No chance. God drop this one again, man, without question. I'm dropping it again. Set us free, family. No chance. That is what it's all about. That's right.
Ain't no change. Ain't no change.
Ain't no chance.
Ain't no change. Ain't no change.
Ain't no chance, family. None.
Strong enough.
None. None, family.
Ain't no change. Ain't no change. Ain't no change. Ain't no change.
Ain't no change, family.
Ain't no change.
What's free in heaven is free on earth, man. Know that. Rastafari.
We don't see no bars and no walls, no prisoner, no guard, no island, no hope, and no common copy fraud. We see Rastafari, blessed my Lord. Cause all of them are fighting in the tenement yard.
Yeah.
Perseverance is my aim, I am yes, so still I go hard. My family oriented, everything in one accord. You say you
yes, my brother. You got work to do, family. You got work to do, family. You know what's going on, my brother. Black Lion Security in the building.
Ain't no change, ain't no change.
Woo.
Ain't no change, ain't no change.
Yes, they're starving us intentionally, family. Mr. Ralph Gonzalez in St. Vincent. Wait, hold on a minute. I gotta pull this real quick. Let me pull this real quick here and let this flip on the low because let me send this to my VC, Yaramian family across the water. Real quick. The Prime Minister of St. Vincent right now, I don't know if he's sick, if he's ill, if he's been cloned or that rock knocked something loose. But the farmers in St. Vincent ain't getting the help they need here. A lot of people's hands are tied to some degree. And they're talking about raising the price of fertilizer and stuff. But here we're going on, family. See all that sea moss y'all have in St. Vincent? See that sea moss? Take the sea moss, clean it, ferment it, concentrate it, and use it. You ain't want a better fertilizer than that. You ain't got to even pay for that. Like how the Prime Minister don't pay, got you paying all these high prices for all this other artificial crap. You got to take initiative to take back your country, family. You cannot wait for some prime servant to give you the green light. There's a free man and a free woman, so function accordingly. St. Vincent need a coup. A coalition of united people. That's what it needs, a coup. A coalition of united people across the region. But we can start it and let it grow. Let it grow, family. It got to grow, man. Got to grow, family. In a change, man. If they disrupt the food chain to feed the people, you gonna be begging the government to give you some food to eat. You gonna accept any condition they put on you, family. The writing is on the wall, family. It's on the wall, man. Those who have eyes to see, let them see, man.
Alright, we need freedom and privilege. Yes, that's the way we have to live. No build a barrier. Hey, just build a bridge. The system's so cool. Hey, more than a fridge. What them design is exactly what negative. Me rather walk the road and take the one more positive. Now go change my plan and take the one them way you negative. Me kids, me wife, me really love me relative, and they don't know.
One family, family. In the chains, man, it's our time, family. It's time to rise up, family. It's time to rise up, family. That's the bottom line, man. Enough said, man.
Ain't no chain, ain't no chain, ain't no chain, ain't no chain.
Ooh, somebody, you like you're reading my mind, man. You like you're reading my mind, man.
Me no see no bars and no walls, no prisoner, no guards.
Somebody called me Morris Bishop the other day. I said, just so. Big shoes to fill, man.
Cause all of them are fighting in a tenement yard. Perseverance is my aim, I am yes, so still I go hard. Well, family oriented, everything in one accord. You say you
agriculture, shout out to the family. Y'all know who y'all are, man.
Ain't no chain, ain't no chain, ain't no chain, ain't no chain.
Ain't no chains, family. We ain't no mercy and no government. Don't let them use food. Don't let them use food as a weapon, family.
Ain't no chain, ain't no chain, ain't no
rise up, family.
Ain't no chain.
Coalition of United People. Alex Mitchell, where you at, man?
But ain't no chain, ain't no chain,
ain't no chain, man.
Ain't no chain, ain't no chain, ain't no chain,
ain't no chain, family, trying to hold us back, man. None.
Ain't no chain strong enough to hold I back.
Ain't no chain strong enough, family. Ain't no chain strong enough to hold us back.
Ain't no chain, ain't no chain, ain't no chain, ain't no chain.
Bless the youths, man. Bless the youths, man. Bless the youths, man. Bless the youths, man. We love the youths, man. We love the youths, family. Y'all know what time it is, man. Y'all see this one right here, man. Give thanks again, family. Y'all have a great night. It's been real life. Full of energy. I give thanks. I give thanks. I give thanks. Submit to the order, man. Divine order, family. As we proceed, give you what you need. Accountability time, family. Art in Motion, I see you. Joyette, I see you. I'm glad to see you too. I'm glad to see you. Give much big shout out, man. And the session on the beach. And I gotta shout out the manager, Miss Hunt, man. Let us meditate, family. Solomonic. Solomonic. Get thee behind me, Satan. Get thee behind us. We're moving forward with that same energy you bringing. Rise and shine, family. Win your liberation, man. Now is the time. Now is the time. All nations must be free. All. Remember your history, family, the legacy that was set before. Just remember, man. You are the law and the master. Overstand that. Jackie say, wonder who's still sleeping after this. You gotta wait till Friday night. I'm gonna give you a glimpse real quick, man. Oh, it's much too long. International morality time. Let me give you a glimpse, Jackie. For the sake of the younger generation, Jackie. I give you a glimpse, Jackie. The 3 magical books of Solomon, the greater and the lesser keys, and the testament of Solomon. Just a glimpse. Yo, Phil, you don't want to miss this. You don't want to miss this, Phil. Too long, man. Too long. Let me get another glimpse, Jackie. Hold on. Much too long, man. Oh, it gonna get hot. Yo, Phil, it gonna get hot Friday. Phil, it gonna get hot. I'm gonna wear a vest. Nah, I ain't gonna wear a vest. Too long, family. My people are destroyed for lacking knowledge. No other reason. None. Well, to whom much is given, much is required, man. The testament of Solomon. I ain't saying nothing else, man. What is bound in heaven is bound on earth. We're going to start to tie these demons up. That's what we're going to do. We're going to start to tie these devils up, man. Watch it. I ain't even saying nothing else, man. It's funny. I was trying to figure out how to switch these all along. And look how I just came and just start doing it, right? I ain't even had a clue I just did. Naturally, and I didn't even had to leave the screen, man. I give thanks, man. Y'all have a great night. Go and meditate on these words. Do some homework. Yeah, go look into them books, man. We're going to break some seals, man. Alex, I got something for you too, brother. Matter of fact, I'm going to post it, Alex, and put it out right now. I'm going to put this in the link just because of Alex. Just because of Alex, man. Yeah. Barbadian Sugar Plantation Index from 1640 to 1846. We're going to start to tie these devils up, family. Let me go down here real quick. Hang on. What do you have here? All these plantations? Wait, all these plantations? Were you pulling my leg though? And dates and names? Wait. Yo, Alex, I got a gift for you, man. Hold on. Let me put that in chat too, man. Everybody can see this, man. You post that one right there. Look, bam. Yo, copy that link down, Alex. Everybody else do the same thing. Copy that link down. But wait, there's more. Hold on. Got one more for you, man. Barbados Almanacs, Plantations and Sugar Workers, 1848 to 1871. What have we here, family? Come on, Facebook. All right, hold on. Facebook didn't post the previous one. Now they did post the second one, but it's on YouTube. All right. I know what to do, Alex. Don't worry about it. I got you covered, man. But check this out, family. Go look that link up as well. If you on YouTube, the link is there. This is quite an interesting read, family. You got to go and take a look at this link I just put up. Especially this map. Imagine you have 436 plantations in St. Lucie alone. St. Lucie had the most plantations. 446. Don't even start me, man. Alex, where you at, man? This is the gift, man. Y'all be good, family. Y'all have a great night. Politically incorrect, man. We putting that work, man. We putting that work. Oh, so long putting that work, man. Anyhow, family. Haile Selassie I, Empress Reserve Menin. One perfect balance. Yeah. Power of the Trinity is the only reason we could do this here. Don't get tapped with it. Half man, half amazing. One perfect balance, Rasta. I give thanks, my brother. One love, family. See you, Jackie. Yeah, conference. Let me save this real quick one time. Yeah. Administration, we need a conference immediately right after the program, so be on your guard. Rastafari brethren. Oh, so long. Anyhow, y'all be good, be joyful, be upful. And Alex, I'm going to send you those 2 links personally. Although Facebook didn't post them, I'm going to post them myself on Facebook as soon as I come forward from this. So you can look for those 2. It's important. Y'all can't miss out. Wonder why? I don't wonder why. I know why. How you going to post them, though? How you going to post them? Y'all can look for them, man. On that note, we out of here, man.